Now, I've always thought that the church was an odd construct. Odd meaning unexpected. We gather on a Sunday and at other times as a people of different ages, occupations, and walks of life. The painfully shy and the move-over world I'm here extroverts. The liturgical leaders and the quiet behind-the-scenes doers. Those who join us online and those who can make the trek here. The strong, the sick, the joyous, and the hurting. We come with different educational backgrounds, having different theological perspectives, different political views, amazingly varied life experiences. Just sit down and talk to anyone and you'll notice that. Some of us come from away, like me. Some of us have deep, deep roots here at Christ Church in Dartmouth, going back generations. Some of us like to sing. Others can't carry a tune in a bucket. Some of us love the traditional worship, the little Shakespearean English and centuries-old hymns, or maybe just the quiet, meditative flow of a said service. Others like new every week worship, the shock of brand new metaphors having to deal with God, and new ways of experiencing the holy. Some of us appreciate the two. It's a wonder that the center holds, that people in the church can even effectively communicate with one another. That's what I've thought. All these differences come together on a Sunday and in our work as church. Sometimes they don't come together. Communication breaks down. Most of us who have been in church any length of time have had very difficult experiences in church that have shaken us. You know, the temper tantrum in a meeting. I've seen a few of those. I've wanted to have a few of those. Bit of gossip passed around, right? It does a lot of damage. The silence that comes when we needed a word of comfort. People walking away and staying away until things are more to their liking. Maybe we did some of those things. We hadn't expected that kind of behavior in the church or from ourselves, but there it is. The amazing thing is that stuff doesn't happen, I think. Now, one of the workshops we had here a few weeks ago had a problem solver whose name I can't remember. Reverend Jody may know who that is. But she said, when communication breaks down, find the common ground and start from there. Find the common ground. The common ground we have is Christ, Ephesians reminds us today. The common ground is love for us, our love for him. Perhaps that's why prayer always works, right? Maybe not the way we wanted it to work, but it always works. Prayer calls us back to the center, reminds us whose we are. It reminds us to reach the common ground so that we can set the differences aside and the hurts and start afresh. Start afresh. Ephesians also points out, that part that says, bear with one another in love, that our decision to love one another, no matter what, enables us to stay together. Love, not that fuzzy kind that you see on TV, right? But love is a decision that we make, especially during the times when we don't feel like loving at all. We feel like smacking up the side of the head or whatever. The kind of love that Ephesians is talking about is the kind that Jesus modeled for us, right? putting aside the personal and focusing on the whole body and its needs, right? Now, I've seen everywhere here in Christchurch, and I'm just going to mention, because everybody likes to be reminded that they're good, too. You reach out to carry each other all the time. You do it by taking each other to appointments. You do it by praying about people who are sick or worried or recovering from some major life event. You sit beside each other, some of you, in shared grief. Your letters and your emails, phone calls encourage and support one another, right? You work together in your singing and in the food bank and in your resources we have here on our campus. In the tangible energy of planning worship. I've seen witness of that. Pretty cool. And in your active, I'd like to do something concerned about others in the larger community, the homeless and the hungry and the alone. What we have here at Christchurch is what Ephesians speaks so eloquently about. Unity, not uniformity. And you're offering your different talents and time to benefit the whole, or at least one or two others in need. What we have as something that you choose. Not walking away when the going gets tough, or someone has hurt our feelings, or we feel ignored. Here's the thing, it's tough being thin-skinned in a vibrant church. You know, you're going to run up against others who have different opinions. Not complaining to others behind the scenes, but trying to work out a way forward. You extend yourselves to the other. And I've seen you trying to keep the door open to reconciliation no matter how hard. That's hard work. It's vital. It's vitally important in staying healthy as individuals and as community. Love is the glue that binds us together, Ephesians kind of says. It carries us when we can't forge ahead on our own steam, when we haven't the patience or the energy or the strength or sometimes even the desire. Then, in the church, we can rely upon each other's strength and prayers. We come to worship in our pajamas online or in person, to touch our cornerstone, Christ, our mentor and our guide, to hear the old stories of flawed individuals like David today, and peoples who struggled in their relationship with God and with each other, yet somehow persevered. We gather to remember that we are a part of his whole body called the church. We come to do Christ's work in the world that sorely needs evidence of his love firsthand. And we are bearers of that love, however disconcerting that may be. And we offer what we have, trying to stay open to love, trying our best and relying on others who are trying their best most of the time too. So I end with a poem. This is called This Body, the Church. This body, your body, my body, to which we belong, is not our body. We are only a part of the whole, which cannot live apart from the one who calls us into being. We are flawed, scarred and scared and sacred, recognizable at times even to ourselves, and what we have done and left undone in the past affects us now, this body. We are beautiful, made in his image, imagining a world different, just and compassionate, enough for everyone, and everyone enough in themselves, reaching out with all of our being to make it so. We cannot see ourselves from a distance, cannot know the difference we make really. We cannot heal ourselves or remove those scars. But there is one who can, and who does over and over again, Christ, convicting, absolving, touching, making whole, pouring out and breaking for us pieces of himself given for this body imperfect. This body, the church, to which we belong, is not our body. Amen.